Let me start with a very normal Korean high school student's life after school. Again, this is after school. Just how many hours do Korean students study a day? How many hours do other students study a day? If you've been in a Korean or Asian environment ever, you will know the difference. And where do these studying hours take place? Well, it's called YaJa in Korean, the after-school self-study session policy. I'll give you a very short introduction about YaJa and how it affects our students and the education in Korea. So what is it actually? YaJa. Some translate it as night self-learning. Some say it's study hall after school. It's not really self-administered, nor administered by the teachers. The students stay in their classrooms after school for a certain time. About 20% of the high school students nationwide participate, and for some schools, it is an obligation to stay after school until 10 or 11 p.m. And why is this? It's for the infamous Suneung, the College Scholastic Aptitude Test, CSAT. Early decision or early action is very scarce in Korea, and most of the students go through this process of college admission test. It was supposedly designed to work similarly with the US SAT. However, the subjects are susceptible to change based on the government administration. And because the test is so unified, there are more competition than ever. And you only get one chance a year, unlike the SAT. For schools that actually require students to participate in YaJa, the parents have to approve that they are preoccupied with hagwons or other institutions so that they don't have to stay at school for long. However, because these hagwons or private lessons are so costly, a lot of the students choose to be at school and study by themselves. If that was the positive effect of having students able to self-lead their studies at school, what would be the negative effects? Be it done at a hagwon or at YaJa at school, it's not really ideal for a student to be studying for almost 15 hours a day. There have been studies that sleep-deprived students develop depression much easier and prone to stress. And there have been attempts to change this policy. In 2016, the Gyeonggi Province Ministry of Education superintendent announced a ban of the policy, but the parents protested. Again, the problem was the high cost or high financial burden of the private institutes. Moreover, the parents and the students saw the need of smoother transition and a reasonable change from forced self-study to a new educational program. This opinion was actually taken into consideration, and in 2018, most areas announced autonomy except for Gyeongsangbuk-do, Daegu, and Daejeon. Nevertheless, YaJa still continues at some schools, but there have been positive advancements related to it. The Ministry of Education, the parents, and the students looked back to the Reform Student Rights Ordinance. This actually helped people to think about the effective use of the hours for self-led studies. This actually made us address the effective use of hours. The Gyeongbuk National University High School in Daegu started Havruda studies, the Talmudic approach of small group studies for students at YaJa. Instead of being forced to study by themselves, the students were encouraged to be in small groups for analysis, discussions, and debates, and learning. Although these long hours are not recommended, but the students are voluntarily studying. Despite these efforts, the students are studying way too long, and the teachers have to fight for their attention during school hours. The teachers also have to work long hours as well as duties. The culture has changed. The parents have to wait for the children. It's a policy that has to change in the long run.